The biggest reason why narcissists choose chosen ones, especially chosen ones who have heightened empathy and sympathy, is because you mirror everything to them that they don't have and they wish that they had. Yeah. The level that you care for yourself, the level that you love yourself, the level that you can reflect that upon others, they wish they had that themselves. Behind all the grandiosity that you see narcissists portray, they're not really that. That's not really them. They have to portray all that in order to build like a buffer around them, so they stay inflated, so they never deflate down to who they truly are, which is somebody who can't love themselves, which is somebody who doesn't have enough encouragement to give themselves, which is somebody who doesn't see themselves in the light that they truly are. Behind all the grandiosity, narcissists struggle to love themselves. Narcissists struggle to basically survive. That's why they have to have that control on other people, because they can't control themselves, and they want to control how everybody sees them. So they believe that you're their property. They don't see you as an extension. So a narcissist, that's why they love an empath. That's why they love a chosen one, is because the way that you give to them, the way that you're there for them, it almost seems like they're your master in a sense. That's how it almost comes off. It's almost like they take the chosen one's kindness for weakness, because they never run into somebody before who's giving. And like I said, in a way that the narcissist thinks, they feel like you're surrendering yourself to them. They feel that, you're bowing down to them, or you find them so great or so admirable. That's why you come to them the way that you do. But that's not the truth. The reason why is because you see their flaws, you see their cracks, you see their holes, you see how they're hurt, you see how they're in pain, you see how they've been traumatized, you see all these things, and you can feel for them, and you have sympathy for them, and you want them to grow, you want them to do better. Now, disclaimer, a lot of times this is before you really see that they're a narcissist. You see that they're hurt, you see all these things, but the thing that triggers the narcissism is how self-centered they are about these things in these situations. A lot of people have been hurt. Everybody's been hurt, I can say. Everybody's been through something, Maybe not to the depth of a narcissist, or the lingering effects is not to the depth of what made that narcissist. I should say that. But a lot of us have been through things. But is that an excuse? No. The narcissist just has not grown. The narcissist has not grown from being invalidated. So when you come around with your good energy and you start to validate them, they hold on to that tightly. Because like I said, they've never been validated before, or they can't validate themselves. You big them up in the way that they wanted to big themselves up. You care about them the way nobody ever has cared about them. So they take that, to heart. They take that for granted. And because these people haven't worked on themselves, really healed themselves, one big thing that I have noticed about the narcissist and chosen one dynamic is that they can't really tell you how they feel about you. They can't tell you how much they care about you. They can't tell you how much they appreciate you. It's not in their nature to do that. That's one thing I have seen across the board when it comes to with the narcissist and, chosen one dynamic, or the narcissist and the highly sensitive person dynamic. It seems like a narcissist cannot tell you how they truly feel. They cannot be appreciative. That is one thing I have noticed. They will never say, I truly do appreciate you. When it comes to those heart-to-heart moments, they cannot do it. They cannot. Another disclaimer, this does not mean that all narcissists are evil people who want to see you doomed and all that. No. Some of them, yes. Some of them are evil-spirited. But some narcissists are just, from traumatic experience, and they have covert narcissism and highly, narcissistic tendencies. Doesn't necessarily mean they wish evil. It's just the way that they go about things. They're very self-centered about the things that they go about and how they go about it, and they don't think about other people due to their trauma. So they can bleed on other people who haven't cut them. They can, turn on other people who haven't hurt them. They could leave people who's truly there for them, but they leave those people due to, being scared of intimacy, being scared of growing, being scared of being close, being scared of being hurt. So they flee from these situations, they flee from these people, and it comes out as narcissism or narcissistic tendencies. Doesn't necessarily mean that they wish evil or bad upon you like some narcissists. No, but these narcissistic tendencies still do hurt. They still do hurt the people that they come across at the end of the day. It still does hurt either way, whether it was intentional, unintentional, or whatever the case may be, it still hurts. So the reason why a lot of narcissists love chosen ones is because we give them the things that they never did. A lot of times we give them the love that they missed as a child from their parents. That genuine care, they never got that as a child. I genuinely think that might be the missing link to the puzzle, is that we make them feel like a kid again. We give them that same love that they were missing as a kid. And that's why they cling on. But because they've been so traumatized or they've been hurt and they don't know how to cope with those things, they can't tell you, I really do appreciate you. I really do love you. I really do thank you. They can't tell you these things. Like that genuine level of intimacy that it takes to be able to do that, or that genuine level of, just appreciation, they can't do it. They cannot. Some can't do it because they're malicious. Some can't do it because they just don't have that in them. And if you're in one of these relationships and things of that sort, after a while you can say, yeah, that's cool. I understand what you've been through and da-da-da-da-da. And you excuse it for a while. But after a while, sometimes you want to hear those things like, I do appreciate you. I do thank you. I appreciate you for being here with me, da-da-da-da, working through things. I know I haven't been the best person, but I do appreciate you. Sometimes you do want to hear those things. I can sit here and lie to myself all I want. No, I understand it. Sometimes people don't got to tell me. I know how people feel. People show me through that. Yeah, that's true. But deep down inside, you would be lying to yourself. Deep down inside, I would be lying to myself. Deep down inside, we would be lying to ourselves, saying that we never need to hear that. I appreciate. No. Sometimes you have to hear those things. That's what keeps you going. That's what shows you that people care. And if people really cared, they would hop out their comfort zone and tell you. And that's what I said, I believe yesterday or the day before, is that sometimes you have to be people's lesson. You are a blessing in these people's lives, and sometimes you have to leave these people's lives for them to understand how to really treat a blessing. That sometimes blessings are not going to be around forever, based on how you treat them. You treat them, second class or second hand, and you expect them to stay. You never told them how much you appreciate them. You never really told them thank you. If you did, it was just a simple thank you, not a genuine thank you or a genuine care. So, you expect these people to stay when you half-ass cared. Maybe that might be the lesson. So, chosen ones, highly sensitive people, empaths, you have to have a level of standards that you hold for yourself and how you deal with people. Especially narcissists. Now, if you're dealing with evil narcissists, I believe it should be very, very limited. But I'm talking about people who have narcissistic tendencies or people who haven't really healed and things of that sort. You have to have a level of how you deal with these people. And what you will and what you won't accept. You have to have a level of that. Of what you will and what you won't accept. Because after a while, you start losing yourself more and more and more and more and more. Giving to this connection and giving to these people, and you won't find yourself receiving anything in return. Why do you think you see when chosen ones or highly sensitive people or energetic beings get into these relationships with narcissists, and the chosen one looks good, and at the end of the relationship, they're just gone. They don't look the same. They look bad. It's because you done gave all your energy away to keep that relationship up and keep that person up. That person done drained all your energy. This is the exact reason why they done drained all your energy. That's why these narcissists love empaths. That's why these narcissists love chosen ones. Because we got that good energy. And they would drain it and drain it and drain it, whether consciously or unconsciously. And I think the worst one is unconsciously, because you don't know what's going on. You think you're really helping somebody. You think somebody, you think somebody really cares or da-da-da-da. And sometimes they do, but they can't show it. And what happens when you stay in relationships or situations where people can't show it? You ultimately will end up losing. Because you give yourself and giving yourself and giving yourself and giving yourself. And the terms may be cool, the terms may be positive, but because that person is not reciprocating, you're still gonna lose. Point blank period. You still gonna lose. Sometimes that's why it's just good to love people from afar, until they can give you those things that you genuinely want and you genuinely need, just like you give it to them. As a chosen one you are not a martyr. You are not here to be a martyr. You are not here to dedicate your whole life to being, everyone's servant. Yeah, we're here to help people. Yeah, we're here to change the genuine collective of people. But after a while, when it's not being reciprocated, or after a while, when you losing your energy for yourself and your purpose, you got to pull back. It's only right. It's only fair. And if these people learn their lesson, or they learn to do right or treat people right, and they want to come back and they're energetic match to you now, cool. If not, you got to leave them where they are. You have to leave them where they are. Anyways, this your favorite cousin, Rich. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.